My friends, welcome to Retro Chatter. My name is Jake. This is the official Returning Retro podcast. Back again, we have a very special guest, a very special friend of the channel. We have Ole. Welcome to Retro Chatter again. Thank you so much for coming back on. How are you doing this Monday evening?
I'm doing good. Well, summer's coming to an end, or has already ended now. So it's kind of sad outside, but apart from that, everything's nice, and I'm feeling good. Yeah, but there was a lot of things happening in the past week, so there were no videos from me for you.
Yeah.
But,
I definitely have been. I'm always anxious for whenever you post new videos. So, but yeah, let's just start there. I went and I cannot believe. It's been 3 months since the last time you and I chatted here on the channel. Time really does fly. But I would just love if you don't mind a little update from Ole. What's new for you, my friend? Seems like a lot has changed in the world of QWERTY, but also you've been pretty busy as well.
We started strong 3 months ago with a lot of videos and a lot of topics, but and I got so many emails, so many comments, so I really appreciate that, and I'm very, very thankful for that. And also a lot of companies wanting to do partnerships and all of that stuff, which surprised me, which is crazy. But I just didn't have the time to really get into it, and if I do something like that, I want to do it right. So work kind of got in the way of doing videos the past couple of weeks, because we had like the busiest couple of months of the year, and I think probably like for the past 3 years. So there was a lot to do, which kind of stopped the progress on YouTube. But I need to prioritize sometimes. I'm really planning on doing more and doing it more regularly, and I have so many topics that I wrote down that I thought about, and that's about it. I have probably the big update is that I now have 3 Zinwa Q25s.
Whoa!
As well as my old BlackBerry Classic that is somewhere here, but I couldn't find it. So yeah, that's a big update, and you have two, right?
I do. Yep. I've got a couple of, and we'll talk about that maybe in a minute. But both of mine are quite a bit different from each other. These prototypes. So I'm not sure if that's the same for you, but some of the. Yeah, we can talk about that in a minute, but yes, definitely enjoying. And speaking of which, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but since last we spoke, you got your hands on some Clicks cases and have joined the joined the excited users of this super. I don't know if I should call it strange or amazing. It's kind of both. The Clicks case.
Yeah,
would you agree?
let me get my cases, and then I can show you.
Sure. Yeah.
This is my main case, which is the long iPhone 16 Pro Max case. And I use that every day. Like, I never took it off since I got it.
Oh, so you do use it as like a daily driver.
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, that's one thing I wanted to know, because some people they're really excited and then they get it and it's like, oh, this. I mean, and then it doesn't work out for them. But I figured if anyone would be using it still, it would be you.
Well, I fully understand that somebody says it's too much sometimes. Because when you go out at night or on the weekends and you have that thing with you, it's kind of uncomfortable and not very handy at all. But I said that to my girlfriend. If you're single, you need to get that case. Because I had like 30 people comment me on that case. What is it? What can I try it? It's amazing. I had a BlackBerry myself and all of those. Yeah.
So it's like a conversation starter.
Of course, yes, very much. But
and you've got sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you what cases I have. I also have the 16 version, but there's now the 17 ones as well. But this one is, I think, much better for everyday usage. Because look at the size difference.
Wow.
Yeah.
A little bit shorter and a little. Actually, Now that you're holding that up, I wonder, because I have the clicks for Pixel that is also my everyday carry setup for my work phone. So of course that is always in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I think seeing those compared, because my wife has a 16 Pro Max, that 16 looks very similar to my Pixel one here.
I
wonder
think
if
it's the same size.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, that would make. Yeah, I would agree. Much more manageable.
Yeah. But the keys are also kind of smaller, I think, than this one. Yeah.
Yes, I'm curious, Ole. Have you noticed? Does the actual clickiness, if you compare like your 16 to the 16 Pro Max, does the clickiness, is it the same? Or I have a little theory here, as I've kind of compared a couple of them, but I'm curious if you noticed the same thing that I noticed.
Both are pretty clicky, but I think maybe the Max one is a bit clickier.
Yes.
Could that be?
Yep.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think that it's got a little bit more of a, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a little bit more of a satisfying.
Definitely.
I don't think it's like more difficult to click, but it just has a more, it has a better click. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
And it's even clickier than all of the BlackBerries, right?
Yes. Yep. For folks that are curious about clicks, I 100% agree with what Ole just said. Like, very clicky, way clickier than any BlackBerry I've ever used. So I agree with that. So and I believe I saw a post in a video. You got a RAZR, clicks for RAZR as well.
Yes.
What's your experience been with that? What is I'm super curious, Ole, today. I just want to know, being a nerd for clicks, I always like, oh, there you go.
Yeah, there it is. I just charged it up because I'm not using it as my daily. So here is it powering on. So you want to know how I think it is?
Yeah. What have your impressions or experiences been with that? I have somewhat of maybe a controversial stance with the RazrBerry, but before I give you mine, I kind of want to just hear what your experience and opinion has been like with it.
Yeah. Well, picking up on the clickiness, this is definitely much less clicky than the iPhone variants. That's what I felt. But I actually did a video review about the RAZR, but not on the RazrBerry, which is yet to come. But I really wanted to like it, and I really like the idea of it with the screen here and the small form factor. But for me, it's just too much of a hassle, going back and forth, opening it up, closing it down. And then you have different menus on the inside and then on the outside, so you always get confused on if you're in the app or if the app doesn't work. Or, I don't know, I just couldn't get the hang of it. And it was just too much fiddling around for me, for my taste. But I think there are a lot of people that maybe don't feel that way. But you made the comment about the cameras, and I actually completely agree. Like, if you want to say that.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, I am starting, the more you and I talk, my friend, I kind of feel like you're like my German twin. Like so much of the same opinions on things, but same for me. I really thought I would the RazrBerry would be what I ended up like falling in love with and being my everyday carry. Now, I do love it, but it's also not quite for me for a lot of the same reasons that you said. There are a number of things that in my use case, I find myself needing to flip it open for, which I was, kind of the appeal is that it's short and a little bit better balanced, similar to the old BlackBerry devices.
Exactly.
And so I find having to open it to, take a picture with it facing the correct way or to access the settings but again, this is something
to answer a phone call.
To answer a phone call, yeah. Like, I don't want to be on speakerphone every time yeah. Now, granted, I have to put two, I guess, disclaimers here. One, I'm an enthusiast. I'm a tinkerer. I use my phone in a way that probably a lot of people don't, and they may not be sort of inconvenienced by some of those things. And the other thing, I feel like it's not even Clix's fault. It's more the limitations of the OS that they have on that exterior screen, they being Motorola. But yes, Ole, to your point, that camera sitting down in the bottom right, it really just kind of
Press that.
exactly, like how do you, it just kind of takes the immersion experience away. And so but again, and I'm sure you've seen some of the comments, people, oh, everything is the clicks for Pixel or iPhone, like none of that is any good. The only one that would be good is the RAZR, blah blah blah. And I kind of was like, well, yeah, I guess that could kind of make sense. But once you actually get your hands on it, at least in my experience, that was not my case at all. It was I think it'll work for a lot of people.
I have to say, like, Clix did the best thing they could with this case.
Agreed.
Right? Like,
and it is cool. It is really cool.
Yeah, but opened up, it's even taller than the 16 Pro Max a little bit.
Wow.
So that's even bigger. That's where I thought, like, well, I'll just stick to my iPhone then. But yeah.
Well, yes, like I said, kind of cool to see that I'm not the only one with that somewhat of a controversial opinion. But again, I still think it's great. With both my clicks for RAZR, for Pixel. Originally, my first clicks was for, I believe it was an iPhone 14 or maybe a 14 Pro Max. I can't recall. And I've had great experiences with all of them, and any of the sort of complaints, and not even necessarily complaints, would totally be from the limitations of the phone, not anything that Clix has done or hasn't done either. So
is there anything you'd wish for with the Clix case? Like, if you could build your dream Clix case, what would it be? What features would it have?
That is a great question. Now you're putting me on the spot here. I like that.
I'm
cool.
asking the questions now, right?
Yes. Okay, you can take it, Captain Ole. Okay. I have really wondered what I would think if there was a dedicated number row on top. So you would have a bunch of extra buttons that you could use for things, but you would also free up the buttons that have the numbers on them currently as different characters that you could put. So I don't know. I mean, granted, that's going to make it even taller. So I don't know if that would. Anyway, what about you, my friend? What is your wish list for future Clix devices? Is there anything that just sticks out for you?
Yeah, one is the touch-enabled keyboard, like using it as a trackpad scroll wheel, because it's so tall. It would be nice if I don't have to reach up at all.
Yes.
And a lot of friends asked me, or people that saw the case were like, well, at that size, it has to have a external battery inside, right?
Oh.
And they are always confused to why I would carry around something like this without an external battery. But I get it, and so I would add that to my wish list, because it just seems like a logical thing. But other than that, maybe even more counterweight in the keyboard, because it is still kind of top heavy.
Help it balance a bit better.
Yeah. Other than that, I think it's pretty perfect, to be honest.
And you've just reminded me of another one, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this. And I know I'm like a dinosaur in this regard, but I'm just not ready to let go of the 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, my friend. If there was a way for them to, and I understand, like, those circuit board, I mean, it's all really complex and stuff, but
sure,
if I could just plug my headphones in and be able to charge it at the same time, or I don't know, but yeah, but that's true. I wonder if there would be a way that they could, add, I don't know, like customizable counterweights so that you could have it be a little, because it's, I mean, and this is another thing where, I've talked to, on the Clix cast, they've talked about you get used to how tall it is, you get used to how heavy it is. And I think that that is true, but that doesn't change the fact that it is still tall and heavy. So you do get used to it, but it still is that. And so that's a good point. I think that I like that. I would be curious to see if maybe later I'll get something and like tape it to the bottom and see if I can.
But I think they're pretty active at the what do you say, the construction board? Do you say that? No, the planning board, the planning desk.
Oh yes,
right?
The drawing board.
The drawing board. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, they're pretty active there, so I'm pretty excited on what's happening in the future with clicks.
Same. Okay, so I have been dying to talk to you about the Zinwa Q25. I just what was it like? I would just love to hear what it was like for you. Like, what was that experience like when you first received it? You know, you powered it on, you started playing with it, and all of a sudden, here's a BlackBerry Classic in 2025 running Android. What was that like for you?
Okay. Yeah, of course, I was crazy excited when I got it, and when I got the package and unboxed it, and when I first turned it on, it was kind of a surreal experience seeing something totally different boot up to than the BlackBerry Classic was, which is Android. But with that kind of came the realization that this is close to stock Android, and it doesn't have the BlackBerry 10 features on there yet that everybody loved. So it was kind of, I had to get used to it, try it out. I had to put in a lot of time to get to know everything and make it the way I wanted to have it, like the design, the look of the apps, the ringtones, like configuring the toolbar to that it works, and that was like my first experience that I had with it. I liked it, but I was kind of overwhelmed, maybe.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's a good point to bring that up. Like, I still see when I do a post about the Q25, you know, there's a lot of people that are seeing it like today for the first time, and they haven't really been following the story or know what's going on. And so, just to explain to folks, like, this is a BlackBerry, but it is definitely not a BlackBerry. You know, it's got the sort of the body of a BlackBerry. It's got that great keyboard, but it's internally it's an Android phone. It's just a very I found it to be a very pleasant to use Android phone. I mean, some people have asked me about this, like, there's not any bloatware, there's not any extra apps. I mean, it's a very clean, very, call it vanilla Android 14 to be precise. But to your point, it doesn't have any really of the BlackBerry stuff. But you can go in and kind of maybe talk about that a little bit if you wouldn't mind. And I know you cover this on your video, but for folks here, were you able to sort of recreate some of that BlackBerry experience with
definitely.
You know, some apps or how close were you able to get, and what did you do to make it happen?
Before I get into that, I think there just needs to be a lot of development going into the software. Like, if you look at what they did, the developers, with the Android BlackBerry Passport, which is essentially the BlackBerry Passport just with Android on it.
Right.
This feels like a very, very complete software. It feels like a software that could have come from BlackBerry themselves. But we can get into that later on.
Sure.
Because they just released an update and it's so smooth and so good. I'm very, very surprised.
And just real quick, for the viewers and the listeners, this is not Zinwa doing the one that you have, though they are planning something in the future, I know. This is a different company or developer, correct? That's doing this passport?
But maybe not to switch things up. Let's talk about that later. But
Sure.
I just wanted to say that if they put a lot of time into it, I think that they can make it feel like a product that could have come from BlackBerry just with Android on it. But what I did was what happened now? No. I installed a different launcher on it, which is the Nova launcher.
Oh, Nova.
Maybe you can see it, yeah.
Yep.
And also I installed the Icon Pack 10, which is this one, which essentially adds the BlackBerry 10 icons, the BlackBerry 10 wallpapers, and then I played around with the sizing of the icons, with the text sizing, just to make it feel like the BlackBerry 10 experience with the 5 apps across and the 5 apps from top to bottom. But of course you don't have the hub integration or anything, and I wasn't able to add the clock widget here at the first slide. Kind of didn't work, but even here you could change everything, like the menu, so the sizing is correct. And now it does kind of feel like a BlackBerry 10 device when you just see it like this, and I really like that. And then I also downloaded. I can maybe provide the link to you. Maybe you want to share it in your Discord group. There is someone who compiled all of the BlackBerry 10 sounds into one single file.
No way!
And I installed like the ringtone, so it feels more like a BlackBerry device and not like a stock Android phone. Like I understand that people like the stock Android experience, but I'm more like, I really like the aesthetics and things where a lot of thought has been put into it. I'm just kind of that guy. So
sure.
Yeah.
No,
I also installed the BlackBerry launcher that they had on Android, like the original one. But I feel like the phone just is too small for that, where you couldn't really use it comfortably. And
Gotcha.
With that come a lot of the apps like the Android Hub and the Android Calendar app and the To-Do List Tasks app, which don't really work nowadays because they're already reached end of life and all of that stuff. So,
and those would have, correct me if I'm wrong, but those would have been what you would have found on like the Key 1, the Key 2, maybe the Priv. Did the Priv? Yeah, the Priv had Android. So okay, that makes sense.
The DTEC 50 and all of those.
Exactly. Yep, the Detective. Okay, cool. Because I tend to, in my mind, I tend to just, I don't know why, I just kind of skip those and I go back to the to the BlackBerry 10 and but that's a good point. I'm kind of, so to your point, this is something that I'm glad that you brought this up. It is very much a work in progress, and I mean even these devices that you and I and some of the other testers have received, they're not the final production. There's changes that are going to be made.
Hopefully not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so as an example, my 2 test units, one of them, the SD card slot doesn't function at all. It doesn't. Okay. It can't recognize. On the other one, it works great, no problem. On one of them, the keyboard backlight is so dim you can't see it unless you are in a totally dark room. Yes. And then on the other one, it works great. But then the opposite of that is true of the screen brightness. The one with the dim keyboard, the screen brightness is so bright I can't even look at it. And then the other one, it's very, so I say this because I want people to know, the experiences that kind of you and I and some of the other testers are sort of documenting. We are just that, like, the purpose of us having these devices is to test them, to make recommendations to the team at Zinwa, to point out bugs that we come across. So I just would hate for people to, and I'm curious your thoughts on this too, and sorry, I know I'm talking a lot here, but I'm kind of hesitant to do like an actual review of the device, because it's not, this isn't the device that people are going to be getting, and so I don't want to review something that maybe will set expectations that aren't accurate.
I was just about to say that, yeah. Because I was, when I received my Q25, the first one, I really wanted to use the trackpad. And of course, I also had all of the issues like extremely bright screen and no backlighting on the keyboard, and the trackpad didn't work. And I texted Zinwa, and I think he was pretty busy, of course. So he didn't really had the correct answer for me. And I was like, do you really want me to shoot the video? Or I found it kind of crazy that they just send out the units to YouTubers and said, yeah, go ahead, do a video, without really explaining that there might be some problems that could occur. But I expected that, and I said it in the video multiple times that it is still a prototype unit, and it's
I
not
noticed
the
that.
final version.
I appreciated that very much because people need to know this is
They need to know, yeah. And actually, I took apart my Zinwa Q25 that I received because I wanted to know why the trackpad isn't working. So I took my working BlackBerry Classic, the original. I took apart the Q25, and then I saw that the plug or the connector wasn't connected for the trackpad. I just plugged it in and it worked.
Oh, no
nicely.
way.
Yeah.
It was that simple, just an unplugged cable.
Yeah, and then I noticed that when you want to call, the phone doesn't turn off from the sensor. One of those three that I have now does it, but the one that does it, that works perfectly, even the vibration motor works, which doesn't work on two of them.
Interesting.
Has a like a crazy high-pitched sound when calling, so I can't use it for that. So it would have been nearly perfect, but the microphone doesn't work. So there is a lot they still have to fix. So yeah, I'm looking forward, and I'm hoping that they can do all of that.
Well, that's interesting too, because so between the two of us, it sounds like we have 5 test units, and all 5 of them are different.
Yeah,
in some way, because that's something. The vibration motor on both of my test units works. The proximity sensor I noticed also works on both of mine, and so I think it's just it's something interesting. But I also, and for the listeners, like, I don't think that this is us being overly critical of it. Like, it's amazing what they've been able to do, but sure. Zinwa has asked us for feedback. Like, that's really the whole reason these devices got sent out, was for those of us like Ole and myself to just go to work with them and let them know the stuff that. But again, like, I'm hesitant because I've had people ask me, do a review, and I'm like, but I waited
a week before I put out my review. Because I really didn't want to put out like a review of an unfinished product, and then because I feel kind of responsible because of my video. So many people ordered the phone, and then I showed them a video of a phone that is not working correctly,
right? And
they panicked.
And I'm kind of curious, what was and maybe on this one, instead of making you go first, I'll go first. Talking about some of the most surprising things about the Q25 is, for me personally, and maybe I'm kind of the exception, but I have been blown away at how much of the device just works. I mean, like, I can, like, there are, like we've talked about, there are a couple of little, call them maybe glitches or bugs here or there, and there are some hardware issues that these prototypes all have, but I've been able to put one of my SIMs in it and just use it. Like, I can use it for almost any app I could want to use. I mean, there are a couple that require that sort of that elevated certification from Google or whatever, like banking apps or some that don't. But my banking apps work. I mean, Google Maps works. Like Telegram, WhatsApp, Signal all work. Instagram work. I mean, the aspect ratio is a little weird, but it still works, you know? So that for me is probably one of the biggest takeaways, is like, in just a couple of months, they have been able to create this super cool device, and so much of it works before it's even, I don't know. That was just something that has really been on my mind, at this cool Frankenstein device, but it works.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm curious, what is any big surprises that you have had, having had them now for a couple of weeks, that you maybe weren't expecting?
I've had my second SIM card installed for 4 weeks in here. I just took it out yesterday to put it into the BlackBerry Passport, but I used it. I used it for calls. I tried it, and I really wanted to use it as my second main phone, if you can say that. And it worked very, very nicely. I was also very surprised. There are just some things that I would need for it to be my real everyday phone, which is a working
Sure.
proximity sensor on this one, a working vibration motor,
Yep.
and a camera that you could actually use. Because still, it's not very good. It's pretty bad. And I think you said that it's probably just a software thing. So I hope that it is.
I think that that's a lot of it. And I think I had mentioned to you, like, with just the right lighting and just the right timing, I've been able to get some pretty decent pictures, but it was on accident. So
Exactly. You cannot rely on it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what I've had so many people, and I'm definitely going to do a follow-up video, hopefully this week. Maybe not so much of like an in-depth review, but maybe more of like the top questions people have had. Here are the answers, and kind of talk about the camera a little bit. I would say it's an okay camera, but it is not a flagship camera experience, or even a mid-range. It's got
a mid-range that is a couple of years old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe mid-range 2020. You could, but I think that, or maybe not even that. I'm not a big camera guy, so this is hard for me. Like I will defer to you as far as the camera stuff goes. But I think it's, I found like it can do like the like QR code reading, if people are needing it for that. I haven't had any issues with that. But yeah, like I've taken a couple of pictures, like of my kids and stuff, and I always go back to my Pixel for for anything photography related.
Yeah.
But the that kind of is a good transition to another question I wanted to ask you, being sort of a QWERTY expert, for lack of a better term. Who would you say, what kind of an end user, or what kind of even just like a phone user, would you say the Q25 is for? Who do you think that this device is going to be a good fit for?
That's a good question. Probably, I don't think that a single iPhone user will transition to a Q25. Maybe just enthusiasts or nerds. And I think that's like probably the target audience at maybe the first rollout.
Sure.
That buy it because it's just crazy and interesting, and maybe if people get to know it, it's just people that don't need the multimedia experience, maybe that don't need the good camera.
Right.
Where we come back to purposeful tech and tech with that dedication. So I think that might be the target audience. But if they can put a decent camera in it, or maybe tweak the software a little, I could see it definitely. I could see it as my work phone, my second work phone, where I type away on emails and WhatsApps and all of that stuff, and maybe even answer comments on my YouTube channel, because it's just a super small, nice device that you can take anywhere. You can put it in your pocket. You won't feel it. It's also a very nice iPod because it has the 3.5 headphone jack. So for that, I could see that people would love it for that. But for now, it's just nerds like you and me, probably.
Right. No, I agree. I think very much it's an enthusiast's device. But I think you put it really well. Like, I don't imagine a lot of iPhone users are going to switch over to the Q25. But you make a good point. I think it's a great little, should we call it a little communicator? Like it's a really good a messaging device. I found, when I'm using it, I don't get nearly as distracted by the internet or the apps or things as I do, with some of my other devices. Even my Clixel, my clicks with Pixel here, just because you've got so much. I mean, this is kind of like almost like a strange little, like a mini computer, whereas the Q25 Yeah, I like that. I think that's a good point. It's for for people that are wanting just to be more intentional, more deliberate, and communicate, and not necessarily look for it for entertainment. Though I do like the iPod analogy too, because I threw a couple of albums on my SD card, downloaded Spotify, and it works really well as
I put it in my pocket while cleaning my apartment, and just with the headphones, because I couldn't find my AirPods, and it was very, very nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And how's the one of the things that I've noticed in my own test units, talking to some of the other testers, battery life is kind of amazing. Has that been the case for you?
Yes, it's very, very nice.
And the size of it too, like just to give folks, like here's my Clixel, which again goes in my pocket, and by comparison, you've got the Q25, which
it's like even crazier here.
yeah. Pro Max next to the awesome. Well, I think and maybe I don't know. To me, it's just so cool seeing these devices emerge onto the market. And let's go ahead and let's shift gears back to the Passport. You mentioned your Passport has recently gotten an update. Again, for people listening, the one that Ole has here is not the one that Zinwa Technologies has announced they're going to start developing for. Yours is something different. Maybe do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, but first of all, I just like the aesthetics of all BlackBerries. And when you have them laying on your table, I just enjoy the sight of it, and that you are now able to use them is just nice.
Exactly.
But back to the Passport. So I think like a year ago or so, some people found the old developer units of BlackBerry Passports where BlackBerry was testing Android on them, because actually
I heard something about this.
Yes, the Silver Edition was actually supposed to ship with Android. Yeah, it was supposed to be the first Android phone they were going to release, but somewhere in the process they ditched, or they dumped that decision and just released it with the BlackBerry 10 variant or the soft OS. And so many people didn't really understand why they released another BlackBerry Passport when the first two didn't really work out in the first place. But that's why. And some people found the test units and got the, I think it's the eMMC, or just knew how to open up the phones, because the BlackBerries are very, very secure and safe.
Yep.
And there is a process where you have to put a different eMMC on the board, and you have to take apart the whole phone. It's a very, very difficult process, because you have to solder it to the motherboard.
Right.
And if it gets too hot, or if you damage the pins, your phone is pretty much toast. So my Silver Edition actually died that way. Yeah, sadly, it seems like we cannot fix it. But the guy that did it told me that there's a very high risk with the Silver Editions, because they have much more glue than the white ones or the black ones. So this one worked out, and that's how I got Android on it. And it's a group of very, very, very talented guys that made that happen, and they pretty much tweaked a version of LineageOS, if you know what it is.
Oh yeah,
or the Lineage or Lineage.
LineageOS. Yep, LineageOS. Yep.
And they tweaked it, and it's called Harpocrat, which is on here now.
Oh.
And it's crazy good. It's crazy good.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
And what are some of the differences between that and the basically stock Android on the Q25? You mentioned that what they've done with the Passport, this group, is, I don't know, I don't want to just say better, but is maybe more refined. What are some of the differences that you've noticed?
Currently, there are two ROMs or software bundles, Harpocrat and the standard LineageOS. And we do all we can and contribute in our manner, however we can, towards a better Passport. And I think Gizmox, the guy who does a lot of work and develops LineageOS, on which Harpocrat is based on, is about to fix the camera, which they now did. So that's what he just told me.
Oh.
So they're very, very active in developing and continuing to polish the experience. For example, just this week they managed to get the camera fully working and to get the Wi-Fi working while the SD card is installed and all of those bugs. But other than that, you can really fully use it.
And does it have does it have 4G? Does it have LTE? Can you put a SIM card in it?
Yes, it has 4G LTE, but I don't think it has 4G calling.
Oh, okay.
Which is
so
bad for the US, I think.
Data only.
I can call with it here in Germany. It's no problem at all, but it doesn't have voice over LTE.
That's right, because you guys still have the 2G.
Yeah, but everyone I call says, "What phone are you calling with?" It sounds like it's old, yeah, because everybody's used to the modern voice quality. But
Makes
if
sense.
you go into the software, I try to show it here. It comes pre-installed with all the sounds. There's no bugs at all. Like if I just go here, you have. It feels like a device that comes from BlackBerry.
Sure.
You all know it.
Yep.
And it came with the BlackBerry Android launcher installed as well. Everything worked perfectly. There's no problems at all. And if you think about it, this phone is 11 years old. I installed the Nova launcher as well. Mm-hmm. And if you just look at it, how smooth everything feels. Or if I maybe open Discord here, it was still open and multitasking.
So this is actually a really good point, Ole. So this is, if I'm understanding correctly, different than the Q25 project in that passport that you were holding, outside of that one, tweak that they did with the eMMC, it still has all of the original internals, right? So like the original processor, the original RAM, the original modem. Wow.
It's completely original. It still has the micro USB port. It still has the same camera, same battery, which of course is not good because the camera isn't the best. The battery on mine is toast because it's pretty much 11 years old. And of course, well, it looked it looked very smooth now, but when I first got it, it did have a lot of crashes. It hung up a lot, and it didn't feel as smooth as it now does. But they changed some things, and now it does. And of course, sometimes the loading times are longer than expected. But if you just think about what it is, it's amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I had forgotten because I'm just so much more familiar with the Q25. But I had forgotten on that passport, it's all the original hardware on the inside. And so the fact that, even just here watching you use that is very
Instagram
impressive.
and all of it, like you can see the loading time now.
Yeah.
It's quite quick actually.
Wow, look at that. Yeah.
And it's still multitasking, like Discord is still open, so it does work kind of nicely.
Awesome.
And something else I wanted to show you, you can edit edit it out if you want, but
sure.
Something that's so crazy to me is that they completely copied the experience that you had on the BlackBerry Passport with the software keys. It's exactly the same. So when I swipe down, it shows the menu. When I swipe down again, it shows the second menu. And when I swipe down again, it closes. I can flick up to get my words.
Oh my goodness.
And I can swipe from right to left to delete words.
That is
double
BlackBerry
tap.
10. That is BlackBerry 10.
I can double
that is
tap
so cool.
To use the cursor.
Wow.
It's completely crazy to me that this works the way it does. And today I had the craziest experience because I took a photo of my colleague, and I'm sure he won't care if I show the picture here.
Okay.
It looked amazing. Can I share my screen here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah?
I think
okay.
that should work just fine.
Just a second. I was completely blown away by the camera quality. Just a second. Keep in mind it's an 11 years old phone that had BlackBerry 10 installed. Here you go.
That's okay. I can. Wow, look at that.
Right? It's crazy.
I would have never guessed that was taken with a BlackBerry Passport.
Yeah. I took it and we both were like, wow, that's crazy.
Wow. And that just goes to show you, I think that BlackBerry, they were really, I don't know, for lack of a better term, intentional about their hardware choices. Like, I noticed this the other day on my regular, because I also actually do still use a regular BlackBerry Classic for some things, just because, one, I love BB10. Two, it was just such a seamless experience. I mean, the way they had the hardware and software, and again, that was before, like with the Passport, the capacitive, the touch keyboard and stuff. And so I still do, but I just, I took a picture with it, and it didn't look as good as that one that you just shared, but still, I was like, I just took this with a BlackBerry Classic that is like a decade old, and it is, it's not a bad picture at all. I don't know. It just, it really is amazing to think at how much time and thought and energy they put into making those devices.
Yes, definitely. And it's definitely the case with the Passport, which has the better screen. It has a 1440p display, has a nice processor. It had 3 gigabytes of RAM, which was very good back in the days.
Right.
And that's why I think, even though the BlackBerry Classic is like my favorite phone ever, this would be, and I kind of just noticed now, the better base for a Zinwa phone. Because the hardware is already so good for nowadays tech, that just a software or like a processor bump or maybe a better battery would really make this very, very usable. If they could just adapt this software that is on here, it would be amazing. Really
interesting. I wonder if they could if they could do a collaboration. These guys working on that and Zinwa.
Maybe, yeah. Because it's really, really crazy what they're able to do here. I was blown away when I installed the update yesterday, and I was using it like throughout the day today, and I didn't have any problem whatsoever. Yeah.
Sure. And that's actually, I'm glad you mentioned that. You just reminded me, a lot of people tend to think that those of us that did have BlackBerries back in the day, that we only cared about the keyboard. And that was just a part of it. That was just one part of what that experience was. I mean, I still, and I think that we talked about this a little bit on the last time you're on the channel. For me, I loved BlackBerry OS 5, 6, 7. Like, I loved the precursors to BB10 for a lot of the same reasons that I ended up loving BB10 as well. They were so good at making a device, a purpose-built device, hashtag bring back BlackBerry, gotta rep my shirt here, that I just kind of feel like we've lost that a little bit. But there was a lot more to the BlackBerry experience than just a keyboard. Very much a part of it, very much an important part of it, but the seamless integration between the software and the hardware, not to mention the security, privacy focused, productivity focused of BlackBerry OS and BlackBerry 10. I don't know. I think that, and again, I'm confident that we will start to see some of those aspects become talked about again, as they already have, with CrackBerry Kevin kind of leading the way on, ApostrophyOS that he's talked about at length. And I don't know, I just, for people that maybe are kind of new to this scene, there was a lot more to the BlackBerry experience than just the keyboard.
Yes, definitely. Especially BB10 was the OS that I just loved because of that.
Agreed. So let me ask you this final question for you. I've kept you a little bit longer than I know you've got probably other things to do, but
Not
Ole,
today. No, I'm free.
oh, not today. Okay, here we go. Hour 1 is done. Hour 2, here we go. I'm curious. Here we are. I've noticed even in I can't believe it's been 3 months since the last time you were on the channel with me, but even in that 3-month period, like 1/4 of a year, it seems like so much has happened in the QWERTY, the physical keyboard phone world. Where do you see all of this going? Do you think that buttons are making a comeback and they'll be here to stay this time around, given the nature of why they're coming back? Do you see it ever being super mainstream again, or do you think it will be more of a niche thing? I don't know. What do you think is the future of this QWERTY Renaissance that we're finding ourselves enjoying right now?
Well, I'm hoping for it. I don't think it will ever be a mainstream thing for now, for the next couple of years. I'm hoping for it to be something, but I don't think that we can say just now, because a lot of phones that have been announced, like the iKKO case, phone with a case, or the Titan 2, is it fully released now, the Titan 2?
I don't think it is.
I don't
In
think
fact,
so,
I think
right?
that they've just started sending shipments to crowdfunding backers. I went the other day to try and order one just from their website, and it still said, not yet available. Notify me when or so. So yeah, I don't think it's widely available yet.
Yeah, and then maybe it's too early, because like here in Germany, nobody knows what the hell this is. Like, maybe more people have to just use it. Maybe people need to see it for it to gain traction. But for now, I don't know. I hope for it. I think if it should make, or how it could make a comeback. Let me phrase it like that. It could make a comeback if it just does the basic things right that people, even apart from you and me, need. And that is basic things.
Yes.
That is a good camera. That is maybe a good screen, a good keyboard, and it's social media functionality. If you don't have that, I don't think it will gain traction. Because yes, we're talking about purposeful tech, and maybe that's good for us, but for mainstream people, it's not. It's they need it, they want it, and they don't want a phone where they have to compromise on anything. And I think if the basic things are done right in a phone, and I don't know what Kevin plans with his plan to buy BlackBerry, but I hope he's doing he's planning on creating a phone that does just that. So who knows? But I think if there was a phone like this that had this tool belt, this keyboard, a little bit of a taller screen that has the 9:16 aspect ratio or something similar to that, a dual camera with a zoom and a normal lens, and a good battery, this phone would fly, I think.
That's a really good point. You make a really good point, because most people are not the enthusiasts like you and me. Most people, they really do want kind of one device that can meet all their needs. And
Sure.
so if it's lacking in it, yeah. See, this is why I like having you on the channel, Ole. You bring up things that I have never really considered, and then I get to just think about.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Because I'm not really the typical tech influencer, maybe, or the tech YouTuber, because I'm not really too deeply into tech. I use the tech that I need to use it, and I want to use it, and that's why I maybe don't have the nerdy view on enthusiast devices like most people on Discord have. But
Sure.
yeah, I'll try my best.
Awesome. Well, any last comments today? I mean, thank you so much for coming on. I always enjoy chatting with you. I hope that we can have some regular chats going forward. But yeah, what any parting comments for the listeners over here at Returning Retro?
Well, we talked about a lot, and I was kind of all over the place, but maybe wait for Zinwa. Don't act too soon, and don't draw your conclusions too soon. yeah, we'll try and test a lot so it becomes perfect. And other than that, yeah, there's more to come. And and what I also want to say, of course, I enjoy our conversations as well, and I always like it a lot. And I think we could do it a lot more regularly. Maybe with Kevin as well. Who knows?
Yes, yes, we will. We will get him. We will. we'll get him. But yeah, absolutely. I'd love to, and I know that the comments and everyone after our last episode were very, very positive. Like I said, you have a lot of fans over at Returning Retro, so we'll make it a regular thing. How's that sound?
Sure,
I like it.
Yeah.
Maybe even one of these times. I don't know. I don't want to overpromise, but we could do an episode. Wo alles auf Deutsch ist. But I don't know if I'm confident enough to
Schauen wir mal.
Ja, schauen wir mal. Ja, genau. Cool. Well, thanks, Ole. We'll leave it there for now. But yeah, appreciate you coming on. And folks, I will put links to all of Ole's outlet, the social media, YouTube, everything in the description here. I'll try and put links to everything that we discussed here. But Ole, thank you so much. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.